Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening. The government has faced a barrage of questions in state parliament over a landmark report into child sexual abuse in our institutions. Calls for government-wide accountability continue, with the commissioners themselves disappointed they couldn't include even more details.
A damning, thorough report into an insidious culture of child sexual abuse in Tasmanian institutions. And still, some findings were left on the cutting room floor. The commissioners writing their governing act made it too difficult to make findings against some individuals.
How will your government ensure accountability for those people who weren't able to be held accountable by the Commission?
The state cannot prevent the Commission from making any findings. I want to make that very clear.
That's not what I said.
Section 18 of the Commission of Inquiry Act requires that all participants in the Commission of Inquiry are afforded procedural fairness.
Commissioners say one of the biggest hurdles they faced was arguments from lawyers, including the state's own legal team. Asked if he was concerned,
no one is being protected.
The Premier says legal assistance wasn't given to those accused of abuse.
But what about the enablers? The ones that turned a blind eye, trying to protect themselves or others, or not doing their job?
In total for the Commission, the government spent $1.6 million on legal costs, including for 29 current and former state servants. The Premier couldn't answer today when a recommended audit of all information relating to child sexual abuse held by the Department for Education, Children and Young People would occur. The government's full response and timeline for implementing recommendations will be released in December. Victim survivors and family members who watched on, alarmed by what they heard.
Rockcliffe's responses were really frustrating and left me again with a lot more questions than I do answers.
It's a kick in the guts. Yesterday I felt so much hope and optimism. Today I just feel a bit disillusioned.
From department secretaries to principals or nurse unit managers, the failings listed in the report are collective ones. Whether all involved will be held accountable is a natural question. The Greens left frustrated by the lack of a timeline for an Ashley closure.
The Commission of Inquiry report unequivocally states the use of isolation practices at Ashley Youth Detention Centre is a violation of the human rights of children and young people.
The Education Minister preferring to give
an actual time frame for an actual project delivered on an actual site, rather than another political promise of a date in the future.
The time for political promises over. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Parents have been urged to properly educate their children about the dangers of fire by a coroner investigating the death last year of a toddler. A 3-year-old boy died and a 4-year-old boy was seriously injured in a shed explosion in Mowbray last November. Coroner Robert Webster also recommended parents should remain vigilant and not permit their children to access ignition sources such as lighters and matches or any flammable liquids. Leading Yes campaigner Thomas Mayo was on hand in Hobart for a key public health conference. This year's theme focusing on how to invest in a strong, smart and sustainable health system for the future. Voice advocates using the opportunity to address how changing the Constitution could help to close the gap.
If you simply listen to people, you're likely to get better health outcomes. That's in an individual clinical sense, or if you listen to individuals and communities.
I hope that Australians, listen to the experts, the legal experts as well, that say that this is a safe change to our Constitution, and to Indigenous people that say over 80% of us support this.
The vote is now less than 3 weeks away. Fire authorities across the state are gearing up for what's tipped to be a challenging fire season, warning residents to get prepared now or risk dangerous situations. Crews in Hobart have spent the day training, conducting fuel burns and fitness drills, making sure they're ready for what's to come.
Setting Hobart alight to keep the city safe. These fuel reduction burns are all in a day's training for fire crews tasked with tackling potentially dangerous fuel loads in our forests.
The rest of the day is made up of information sessions, a bit of planning, skills refreshment, and we've gone through some various scenario training as well.
Pack tests also on the agenda to examine fitness levels.
Each firefighter brings a weighted pack. We have set distances that we need to carry the weight and complete the distance in a certain period of time.
It comes ahead of a potentially challenging bushfire season fuelled by El Nino. The City of Hobart pumps around $2 million into bushfire preparation each year, with 112 kilometres of fire trails to manage.
We're in one of the most fire-prone and vulnerable cities in the world, and we all need to pull together, we all need to do our bit.
Residents can help out by cleaning their gutters, removing flammable plants from their houses and making sure they have a bushfire plan ready to go. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanian politicians are jumping on board a new exercise campaign encouraging the community to get moving. The month-long challenge will test their endurance as they try to flick the switch and promote preventative health.
Proving they're fit for office.
I'm doing this as a kickstart for my fitness and health so that I'm a better person in politics.
The most important thing is to keep moving. You don't have to do it all at once.
These Tasmanian leaders are among dozens of politicians and their staff putting their best foot forward in the month-long exercise campaign.
150 minutes across the course of the week, get your heart rate up and get moving.
The push hoping to encourage more community members to exercise.
To show people that it is something that you can fit around a busy lifestyle and you'll feel heaps better for it.
The Fit for Office Challenge is looking to change the way we move and in turn ease the healthcare burden.
The federal government should be investing in preventative health. It saves the economy money. It keeps people out of what we call the sick care system, not the healthcare system.
If we're healthier, fitter, we're not going to be reliant on the hospitals, our GPs, in everyday life.
The nationwide health kick responding to growing inactivity.
This is about just encouraging activity and encouraging the dialogue about the importance for it on a national front.
Politicians putting their bodies and, in some cases, their dignity on the line for a worthy cause.
I want to be stable and run in on the hamster wheel last day, so look out for the things we do.
Victoria Eastoe, 7 Tasmania News.
One of the state's top emerging artists will share her talents with the Launceston community this weekend. Katie Barron is hosting a painting workshop at the QV Mag on Saturday, promising budding creatives a sweet treat.
Teaching some techniques for painting different textures of candies, so sugary candies and smooth textures. Very basic overview, just an introduction for people who may have never even painted before.
Katie's works are currently on display as part of the Rise exhibition, taking inspiration from op shops and the snack food aisle. Some of the state's grade 10 students have committed to a brighter future of further education or employment by signing the Beacon Foundation's Inspiring Futures Charter. The Cressy District School leavers today getting inspiration from a survivor of the Beaconsfield mine disaster.
Tasmanian hero Todd Russell's life-changing rescue capturing the attention of these grade 10s as they prepare for the next stage of their lives.
Today's really inspired me. I'm really keen to kick off my future.
I've taken away quite a bit. It was quite interesting to see Todd Russell come in and talk to us about how his situation inspired him to move on in the future.
The Beaconsfield mine survivor talking about resilience and overcoming adversity.
It's just an honour to be able to tell my story. You know, it's a life-changing event that I went through. You know, and if I can pass on some of them experiences to the grade 10s that are leaving this year from Cressy High School and help them in their journey in life, that's what it's all about.
Putting pen to paper, today's signing of the Beacon Foundation's charter, a tradition spanning 20 years.
This charter, which is their commitment to a positive future and also of our community, not just the school but the wider Northern Midlands community, supporting them in moving on to something positive for their future.
This program's really helped with my people skills and just being out there. I was a bit more of a quiet person, but since I've started this program, it's really helped me.
paving the way for the future. Talia Jordan, 7 Tasmania News.
More than 100 students from across Tasmania have put their technology and science skills to the ultimate test, competing in the state finals of the F1 in schools. Among the winners were Riverside High School, who took out at least 5 categories and were crowned overall champions in the junior professional class. They also secured best reaction time of 0.106 of a second, which has got the rest of the world watching.
Yeah, I think it was faster than the World's Finals one, so we're really happy with it.
All of the winning teams will compete in the national event in Adelaide next year.
They might only be 2 games in, but Tasmania's Marsh Cup campaign is in deep trouble after being thrashed by New South Wales. Batting first, the Tigers' top order again failed to fire. Jack Edwards then tore apart Tasmania's bowlers, with the Blues winning with 15 overs to spare.
With Matthew Wade suspended, Tasmania's batters faced a tough test. Caleb Jewell lasted just 3 balls, out via an ex-Tiger.
Edging and gone! What a start for New South Wales!
Mac Wright was looking for runs but came undone on 10.
Edging at a second wicket.
The Pigeons having a better morning than the Tigers. Jordan Silk tried to kickstart the innings but was sent packing on 20.
Where they'd like it to be, and that one is hit off stump and Silk cleaned up. Edwards with a big wicket. 4 down for Tasmania.
Brad Hope lost his wicket in unlucky fashion, and when Owen departed, Tasmania was 6 for 75. Bo Webster and Paddy Dooley leading the fight back.
He has gone the aerial route. Has he got enough of it? He does.
Their 90-run partnership giving Tasmania hope as Webster again passed 50. A contribution of 65 helping set 199 for victory. New South Wales started the chase in hot form.
And Hughes drives and drives beautifully.
The Tigers' day getting worse. Riley Meredith leaving the field. Jack Edwards, meanwhile, plundered Tasmania's bowlers. The opener finding runs in all forms.
And he's going to go for runs. It's deflected away, and it may even go all the way to the rope. It does. So.
The Blues reaching 50 in just 6 overs. Edwards' half-century took just 25 balls.
As Edwards goes after another one, stand and deliver.
His stellar knock ending on 92. Bradley Hope with the breakthrough. Daniel Hughes also reached 50 before an errant shot finished his day. But it was too little, too late. The Blues scoring a bonus point win. Tasmania's season off to a shaky start. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
And finally, one of the Jack Jumper's most popular players has decided to hang up his shoes. Josh Magette announced his retirement on social media this morning after 11 seasons in professional basketball. He spent his final 2 years here in Tasmania, helping the Jackies reach the grand final in their first season. The point guard was a fan favourite, known for his accurate shooting and professionalism. In his statement, Magette says while he'll miss the court like crazy, he's beyond excited for the next chapter.
Good evening, Hobart. 20 degrees today, Launceston and Devonport 17, Burnie a high of 18 degrees. Lyawini 7 degrees warmer last night as the night before, only 0 last night. Temperatures did sit above average though everywhere, but there was a chilly westerly breeze over the state. Friendly Beaches 20, it was 19 at St Helens and Bushy Park, Grove 17, Low Head and Flinders Island 16, King Island 15 and Strawn a high of 14. Some overcast skies over the west and south today with isolated patchy cloud over other regions. No real rainfall to tell you about. A cloud band with thunderstorms extends from near Sydney to southwest Queensland, and a patch is there over the Kimberleys as well. Tomorrow a large high centred over Adelaide pushes over a wide area. A trough runs from southwestern WA up around to the top end before tracking to the southeast. West to northwest winds again at 10 to 20 knots over the east, stronger over the north and west and even stronger to 40 knots over southern waters. Gale warning there, that's between Tasman Island and Low Rocky Point, and we have a strong wind warning that's from Low Rocky Point to Sandy Cape and also from Stanley to St Helens Point along with the southwest lakes. So to the forecast, and 20 again for Hobart, partly cloudy, no rain about, 19 for Cygnet, becoming windy, New Norfolk partly cloudy and a high of 20 degrees. Launceston 21, cloud clearing, bit of cloud over Devonport, 19 the top and 21 for Campbelltown, 3 overnight. 17 for Burnie, Strawn a shower or two, 15 the high and 17 the top for Smithton. St Helens tomorrow a top of 21 degrees, sunny in the east, Swansea 22 and 21 for Fingal. On Friday a shower over the west and south easing. Hobart a top of 17, Launceston and St Helens 21. Hobart 21 on Saturday as fine partly cloudy weather prevails over most of the state, and on Sunday looks like a few showers right across Tasmania as those winds tend southwesterly in the afternoon, cooling things down. 29 in Perth, sunny and 25 for Adelaide, fine and sunny weather also for Melbourne and Canberra. A shower on the way to Sydney, 22 there, showery as well in Brisbane. Bit of cloud around the state. Hobart currently 13 degrees, Launceston partly cloudy, it's 13 as well, and Devonport completing the trifecta, 13 at the moment. Bit of surprise there, Lou. I didn't know you were in the chair tonight. Great to see you in. Let's just hope you're not going to keep up with that Collingwood diatribe for the rest of the week, which brings me to the big question. What's going on with Kim Miller? She normally leaves me a note. No idea where she is. Did she let you know what's going on?
I think she's just having a bit of a holiday from you, Murph. Poor little darling. Thank you for that. And that's all your news for now. I will be back later with updates. Thank you for joining us. Good night.